Okay, namaste. Greetings to wherever you're joining from, whether it is good morning or good afternoon or good evening. We're very excited that we have Dr. Srinivasa Rao among us. And I would like to introduce Payal Datta. She is the coordinator slash manager of all these events. She has been supporting us as World Vegan Vision for several years. We are also very grateful to Plant Powered Metro New York, a New York based incredible organization. They have done an incredible amount of work in the field of health and wellness. Um, and To introduce Dr. Rao is obviously the LinkedIn and other places you can get ton of information about him. He's a well-published author. But I would like to introduce him in my way. Several years ago, in a networking event, I met Dr. Rao, a typical scientist that he is. He talked like a professor and impressive. And he talked about moringa plant. And I didn't know anything about moringa plant, even though in my house back home in India, we have a moringa plant. So as I was leaving, he handed me a little flyer. I put the flyer in my pocket, got home, and forgot about that flyer. And several years later, I thought about the benefits of moringa. And I tried to find that flyer, and I could find it. And then, as the universe would have it, a couple of months later, I ran into him at an event at Bharati Vidya Bhavan. And this gentleman was talking about pulses. And then all of a sudden, the light bulb goes on in my head that maybe he's the same scientist who talked about the moringa. So after his presentation, I went to him and I said, Dr. Rao, are you the same um, gentleman who talked about um, the moringa? He said, yes. And then immediately I took his number down and I've been connected with him since. And it's truly a blessing. And what he did today, unlike what many presenters would do, he has taken every single question, analyzed them thoroughly, and then made this presentation based on those questions. So you are not going to see a single subject timeline from beginning to end. What you're going to see instead is a book with multiple chapters, and each chapter is unique and worth reading in itself. So welcome, Dr. Rao. This entire floor is yours. Um, we have two other presenter. One is Ron Rizzo and the other is Enrica, and we'll introduce them after the Dr. Rao's presentation. Dr. Rao, please, this is all yours. And thank you so much for doing this for us. We are really honored to have you.
Thank you. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, yes, you can. Yes.
Is this clear?
Mm-hmm. It's very
Good
good.
morning,
Perfect. Perfect.
good evening, and good day, wherever you are from. I will be presenting in the next 30-40 minutes about one single question that dominates everybody's mind when we say food as medicine or food is medicine. The scientific community is divided whether it should be is or as. Ayurveda did not doubt about it, but the modern science is still debating which word is appropriate. I'm very happy to see out of so many questions, 200 or so, that were sent to me, 38 people wanted to know how does it actually work. In the next 30 minutes, during my presentation, I'll give all the other reasons and how it works towards the end of the presentation. What we eat shapes how we live, how we heal, and how we age. I know there are many well experienced doctors in this presentation at the moment, and also I'm surrounded by many doctors. And this statement is very bold, but if it is taken in its true sense, it is valid over last few thousand years. Doesn't mean that when you have sickness, you should depend only on just food. Medicine is definitely. Right from the time of Ayurveda and Aristotle or all the other Hippocrates, all the scholars of West, East have said very clearly food should be the first choice when you are healthy to keep your body healthy. I am not trained in nutrition. My PhD is in molecular genetics, finding out why people in some countries with sickle cell anemia die in Africa, whereas in India, Saudi Arabia, Mediterranean, they do not die. My thesis established very clearly that the genetic differences at nucleotide level actually help people to live or decide whether they would die at an early age. But later, I never did any nutrition. But during the COVID period, many people called me. I live in New York City, just 11 miles from the Elmhurst, which was the epicenter of COVID, and deaths at every 1 minute or 2 minutes or some such statistical number. Because world over, there is a question, if it is so dangerous, how are you living there? What are you doing? Because there is no medicine prescribed, there is no vaccine available. I worked in the vaccine industry, so people asked me about the vaccine as well. At that time, I also had to stay home, do nothing, going outside, nothing is not available. So, in my reflections, I came to know that out of all the species, many animals, only humans depend on medicines, hospitals for health, whereas the rest of the species do not. That's when I started my reading, and I'm thankful to all my, I wouldn't say students because they never formally joined me, many students who have come to me in working on various things. As Rakesh ji mentioned, Pulses, there was a team of students who worked with me. And right now, there may be at least a dozen of the students who worked on my latest book, Food as Medicine, which is the foundation for these kind of talks. They also joined probably. With all their support, education, discussion, meetings, we had probably hundreds of Zoom meetings with these students and others. I think I have some understanding of this food as medicine. Before we go into the food as medicine actual details, this is the course of human life and health, which is very well understood, statistically speaking. Up to 35, 40, no matter what you do, you are very healthy and you go straight from the childhood to earning and your prime of the life. And then onwards, everything starts in a different direction. If you don't do anything and follow without thinking about your food, you will probably live anywhere between 65, 70 to 85, depending on which country you are, what kind of financial resources you have, and what kind of advice you have, and what kind of lifestyle you have. But it is not fixed. You can prevent, and if you prevent, surely you will go beyond 90 and maybe up to 100. More and more people are living 90 plus, including my mother. She did not have any of these kind of textbook knowledge, but she has her own practices. Her cousins and many in my circle, 90 is reasonable to expect. But the modern science says if you follow good lifestyle and food, exercise, sleep, not only you prevent, but eventually the modern science can take you in intervention manner and increase that beyond the 100. That's a different topic altogether, but all I want to convey is it is in your hands how you want to handle your health and your longevity. This is the inflection point, or some 45 years is the point. If you can make it better, it will be very good and easier for you. In 2017, the entire world was educated by a team from the health effects. Organization, they analyzed 11 million deaths and said that the biggest risk for death is the food that you eat or how you handle. This goes back to Ayurveda. They exactly said the same food, annam, which can give you life, can also kill you. And this slide, though it is fairly old, it's very important in my opinion because this is the bridge between Ayurveda's knowledge and the modern hardcore 11 million death analysis knowledge. Why food is that serious? Because food acts upstream, which means when you eat any food, body has the ability to reject if it is not suitable for your body. You don't have to test your genes and find out my personalized medicine or personalized food advice. Just eat, and if you have any reaction, you better keep it away. That's how humans have survived for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, food, unlike any other medicine, once you take a medicine, it is not so easy. Body cannot reject it so easily, whereas food it can reject. So the whole plant food is what we eat influences several major health risk factors in the same way as any other practice that you may have from your traditional foods. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, surely they influence your blood pressure, blood sugar, body weight, cholesterol, gut microbiome, the latest understanding of our body. So, to lower chronic disease risk, it must start not when you are retired, but at an early age, say 45. Or if it is part of your life from your childhood, for many, many traditional families, you don't have to do anything, just follow that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Food is not a cure all. I'm very well aware of the fact that medicine has made great contributions for us to live healthy, happy. When I was a child, probably 50 years back, many people used to say he just got fever and died. Now nobody talks like that, right? At that time we did not know what fever is going to do, but today we know at a molecular level of various things, and therefore I stress food is not a cure all, but it
Mm.
helps shape the condition in which health or disease develops.
Okay.
There is another group of scientists across the world. It's called as a Eat Lancet Commission. They worked on to understand what exactly people are eating. And therefore, different continents, they have made these kind of data collections. And for South Asians, which I presume that many of the people here eat starch at the outer limits of it and even beyond. They do not eat the other at all. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, all of them, keeping the meat aside, dairy aside, all of them also are very less. If one can have a plan in their own personal food, because some people asked me in the questions, so the answer actually can be here. Take this kind of chart or this chart itself and try to reach these towards this 100%. Then it will make your health a bit better day by day. But what is the real proof? That was all theory, statistics, collected, published, agreed, debated, whatever. In 2024, I went to Sweden for a meeting where it's precision food nutrition kind of combination meeting, in which a couple, wife and husband, doctor and a scientist, they published this the cilantro diet experiment. Sweden is in the northern parts of Europe. Cilantro is the southern part of Italy and straight down as you can see. The cilantro experiment is take Swedish people and give them food in Cilento place in Italy exactly what the Italians eat instead of what Swedish people eat. These are the two, six team of the scientists, but these are the two I met. We discussed, and I was very much impressed. At that time, it was just a presentation, not a fully blown published reports. And these two have clearly demonstrated that out of 109 parameters they tested for health, 66 of them at metabolic level have wonderful, positive, statistically significant changes within a week of changing the food. In the modern context, I would take this experiment, which is done by a team fairly reputed, as an important step in understanding that food can change your metabolic system within days. Therefore, if you observe a good, healthy food practices, you surely will know. You may not feel it immediately, but this experiment, I'm quite impressed because they have measured systematically, exactly like what is measured in a hospital. They have done all these experiments, all these testings, and reported it. And not only it is statistically valid, but also it has shown very simple, clear metabolic changes that are positive. And doing this is very simple. All they have done is they did not make any special plan. All they have done is they have taken these Swedish people to that small town, Cilento, and they gave them the local Mediterranean food, which is vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fruits, nuts, olive oil. In this context, they have added some fish daily and some meat, but very less, and wine. That somehow they did not put it on this panel, but in the publication, they have actually given that detail also. But they're all cooked based on the local recipe rather than continental or five-star or seven-star style of cooking. So please take a note of this wonderful experiment, which you can do systematically and get it into your system, into your daily routine for a better health. There is a new concept in the last 10, 20 years. I would say new because not many people have agreed even today that this is the most important thing and this is the root for your health. Microbiome. Microbiome in your body, in your stomach, you have approximately 38 trillion cells, plus or minus 1 or 2, which in number wise, though not size wise, number wise is similar to your body cells. These bacteria of various types, microorganisms, they live in your body and they also need food. It is the symbiosis of these microbes and humans that has given humans a very good health over thousands of years. And this particular set of, I wouldn't say organ, but organ like of yours is the key for making you very healthy, not only physical, also psychologically also. This is a totally a different subject that we should address, but one important aspect of this microbiome is their food mainly constitutes of fiber. If you take enough fiber, most of these microbes will be happy, which means they will do all the work for you. They will convert most of your food into the useful molecules so that the body can absorb. How do you give the fiber? You don't have to do anything special. What we are not doing right is this in the modern or the recent times. If you take any food, I take a simple example of apple, it can be applied to any other food items. If you simply eat unprocessed apple, that has enough fiber for the microbes to be happy as well. If you can do a minimally processed, which means cut and add something, that is also okay. But if you actually make it into a juice or some other form, rolls or jelly, as you progress, it is called highly processed or ultra processed, and it will have very minimal fiber. That is not so good for the microbiome. And therefore, your body, even though you are eating all the nice, proper, suggested, good food, they cannot be processed properly because the microbes or microbiome in your stomach doesn't get its share of fiber. This is another wonderful experiment that was done and published quite well, but not noticed so easily. Everybody has this question: how much to eat? Oh, if I eat less, I'll be healthy. No, definitely not. Less is not the first criteria for eating to be healthy. Here, ultra processed diet and unprocessed diet. Most people know that you have a burger and French fries and other things in the McDonald's and other places. So the experiment is in random order, they matched and provided the calories, sugars, fat, and fiber and micronutrients in ultra processed way, the burgers, unprocessed way, in the natural at home. The blue line is ultra processed, as you can see. The red line is unprocessed. People were asked to eat without any restriction. However much they want to eat, they should eat. When they did the estimations, the ultra processed for the same uncontrolled or no restriction food gave lot of calories to the people. Unprocessed meaning same burger material or same food item, chop it at home, mix at home, and add whatever you wish to and eat. That is unprocessed. It did give 500 calories less for the same quantity, same sugars, same fat, same fiber, and same calories, but body got only lesser calories. And over a period of time, 2 weeks, they observed the weight gain. In 2 weeks, the ultra processed diet has given quite a bit of weight increase compared to unprocessed diet. Therefore, how much to eat is a question, but how you prepare that food is very important. And the
Right.
uncontested result is less processed or unprocessed food will be healthy for you.
So Dr. Rao, if you can just go back to that slide, very interesting. So these two slides represent the same input data. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. And the other thing is that from 0 to 1, is it a percentage or what's the unit between 0 to 1? Is it the net gain per kg? Is it like
Correct. Body weight.
a body weight? Okay, okay, okay. So what you're saying is that over a period of 2 weeks, with the whatever you feel like eating, eat, but your body weight will go down as opposed to gaining if you did the ultra pulses. This is the fantastic slide. By the way, I have more questions on many other slides because this is very intriguing. So please keep going. Thank you so much.
Good, you stopped here because how did this happen? Because people may have a question. How is it possible? I'm eating the same calories. Where are the calories going? It's not the calories going somewhere. If you are giving enough fiber, the microbiome is doing its part and therefore it is giving you the right nutrients to get into your blood, into your body, and therefore you are healthier. Weight is not gained. Next, everybody has this question. Oh, I'm diabetic, I should not eat banana. Or I'm this, I'm that, and I should not eat that fruit or this vegetable. Fruits are bad, all those things. So I have taken this banana example, which is from Australia. Some scientist from Australia has presented this. Same banana. As you can see, the colors are actually, it's a composite one. The banana will not ripe in this manner, but with the dotted lines, we have put them together to explain the color and its nature. Banana is a great fruit with the highest resistant starch. That is what is needed for diabetics as well. Not only for normal people, but diabetics also. It's a great source of prebiotics for gut health. What it means is it has necessary ingredients for the gut microbiome, and therefore it is healthy if you eat it underripe. But whether you like it or not, that's a different matter. But the nutrition wise, if you are diabetic and you like the banana and you try to eat as close as to
Mm.
underripe or barely ripe, barely ripe has high fiber and lower in sugar. And as you move forward, full ripe, certainly you have high antioxidants, and good fiber content. That's the limit. After the ripe part, it will very ripe, meaning all the other molecules are destroyed and everything is converted into sweetness or sugars. And eventually, the overripe one will be highest sugars and the lowest fiber because they are all digested or degraded. And therefore, when you have a question, I'm diabetic or I'm having this, when to eat, what to eat, yes, you can eat banana, but you have to decide at what stage of the banana. And the same holds true for all the other food items, vegetables.
So, Dr. Rao, what you're saying is that do not eat chocolate banana, just eat plain banana.
Right. It should not be become a chocolate. Correct. That's a simple one to remember. And the best thing is to keep it in, I keep it in the fridge, depending on when I buy and at what stage of this banana is available. Then I'm rushing as Mr. Rakesh Bhagwat said earlier that each slide could be a chapter. I'm rushing to another thing. Sachin Panda, he's
Yes.
a scientist from Orissa, but working in West Coast. He has finally put this together. When to eat? In the day of 24 hours, morning 6 to evening 6 is the period most reasonably good. If you can restrict even further in special circumstances or your religious practices or whatever that you feel, it's even better. But 12 hours is reasonable. And beyond 12 hours, if you can stop eating, it is very healthy. This has been the traditional religious practice in all the religions, including Christianity. Seventh day Adventists, which is in the West Coast, they are considered as another Blue Zones. Blue Zones is a place where people live healthy, happy for a long period of time. So, this itself is a big topic, but all I want to convey in this slide is not only what type of food, when it should be eaten, each food item,
Right. So,
but
Dr. Rao, what is 8HTRE? 8H probably mean 8 hour, but what is TRE?
yeah, sorry, time restricted eating.
Ah, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Next slide, next time I will put it in because this is taken from another full presentation on the topic. Therefore, I did not expand on that. But here, yes, it is required. Time restricted eating, 8
Okay.
hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, whatever. But 12 hours is the limit.
And and at least 30 minutes of activity and 30 minutes of daylight.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. Because he has added, Sachin Panda has added because the coordination of the eye, meaning the sun and light, is very important in maintaining the whole thing. There is another question that many people have very deep in their chest or mind or whatever. If I eat plant food, I cannot build muscles. This is not true. But what is true is if you are eating only plant food, you have to pay a little bit more attention. If you are a vegan, you have to pay more attention to what you eat, how you eat. And this is an experiment from Spain. And this is actually done so well that bodybuilding is done by this person and the team. And the scientists followed them, that team, and showed that if you can match your legumes properly, that's the reason why I think my team, which worked with me on legumes pulses, 40 of them, is very important for this kind of concept. And you also know some people who are strict vegetarians, not even touching egg, are also hefty and muscle and strong. And my son, he's a psychiatrist, going to be a psychiatrist soon. He has taken this path and he doesn't even eat egg, but he has built very well. So it is not just a theory or a textbook thing, but it's in the family and in and around our friend circle. Protein source does not affect resistance training in young men. It is how you manage and use it.
Mhm. By the way, this is a very important topic, Dr. Rao, because everybody talks about protein these days.
Yeah, we can have a full session on that.
Absolutely, we will. We should do that. Yes, great idea.
At the same time, food, yes, when we say food, people do not understand water is part of it. One important thing is human body is a million molecules machine. This machine or factory requires raw materials to run it properly, like any other factory. What does it produce? It produces energy every day. And the main purpose, of course, offsprings, children, but that is limited. But energy is every day, every minute, or every second. For it to work this well, to produce every day, every minute, every second, you need to give the raw materials. One of the most important raw materials is water. And next one is obviously air, or you can say vice versa. People cannot live without air for a few minutes. People cannot live without water for beyond few days. And people can live without food more than the water days. So, in the religious practices, Jainism and others, you have Nirjal
Mhm.
fasting. So, take water as a very serious thing, and every body has its own limits. And if you observe your body, you don't have to ask others how much water you should drink. Also, this percent, how much you have to take, is also changes with age, sex, and body composition. Therefore, consider water is the medium for circulation, which is temperature control, and nearly every cellular process. I did not put a slide on the air because that's too silly to put or common sense, but I hope some people will not take it to the other extreme of, oh, I just have to eat healthy, but not to be in the good environment. That's very important.
So,
Environment is what gives you good air.
right. So, Dr. Rao, what about the role of lymphatic system? Is it related to water?
Lymphatic system is a part of this body functioning. Water is only a ingredient that you are supplying and
Okay,
circulation. If you don't have proper circulation, not only the blood, even the lymphatic system also gets affected.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Then I want to bring your attention to one important point. There are many scientists, doctors talking about various, oh, this is good, this is great, that is great. But people who have to take it at a different level. At a population level, countries will say that this is good for you. At the group level, there is another recommendation. At the personal level, there should be there will be and there is a recommendation that you and your doctor or your family members know well. So, whatever you read in the news is meant for population level or group level. But whatever you do on your own research, or somebody does it for you, or your doctor gives you, that is your personal level. So, levels of dietary recommendation must be understood properly, then only you can have good health. There are more than thousand humans have consumed 26,000 trees, plants before over the period of time, tested. But today, at least 1,000 are in my database, working database, and which all my students who have worked with me has helped me to make this database, which is in concurrence with FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. But how to bring all the knowledge into educational levels? We have 500 food items as word search book, and we have 365 rhymes, one for each food item, which I will present in a minute. And we have 200 wall chart, 200 food items as wall chart, which if you have it in your kitchen, you will be very surprised that children will be glad to eat. And Pathmark, which is a grocery store near our house, in the last 20, 30 years back, it was quite active. And they have a chart, a small one, not this 200, and which we put in our home, and children were trying to check what we ate and what we did not eat. And we have 100 food coloring book, food items, and this is encouraging very young children to eat more. And this is the thing that I'm talking about, the pulses. Just to give a glimpse of the range, I cannot present all the 1,000 or 500 or 365 here, but I can show that you have 40 different legumes, pulses, which are available here. Out of these 1,000 food items, at least 800 or so are available in New York area, because New York area has people from various parts of the world, and therefore a good variety is available. There are berries. These are great for anyone. Unlike many other places, United States is or the Western world has a lot of these berries. India, we did not recognize many of them, which were there in the Ayurvedic textbooks, but they did not come to the market yet.
Right. And Dr. O, what about the millets, which is
Oh, I did not touch in the grains, but when we do a presentation with the individual
okay.
food groups, we can
Okay.
go into grains.
Okay.
And let me play a small rhyme.
Mango, mango, oh so bright, golden sunshine in its bite, packed with vitamins A, E, and C. Mango, mango, good for me. Mango, mango, oh so sweet, rich in B6, a nutritious treat, yellow, juicy, packed with E. Mango, mango, you boost glee.
So we
Dr.
have
O, how about
306.
how about how about taking these 365 rhymes and putting them on YouTube?
Yes,
I
they are
mean,
all ready.
this is fantastic. I mean,
And several students worked with me on this.
I will help. I'll be very happy to help you with this.
We can discuss that.
Yeah.
So these rhymes are for, because they for the children. If they are singing, it's in their head. If they are singing, it's in the parents' system, and therefore you can. And we have made it even a simpler one. Instead of 365, we have these 101 food items. These are having all the essential nutrients, and we made it into a puzzle box. And I gave one to Rakesh ji as well.
And Dr. Rao, actually, I came home and I started playing with my grandkids. And I'm telling you, they started recognizing food, and this is something that it could be a weekly game. And then we can say, hey, what did we eat this week? Start like that. So it gets young kid more interested into varieties of food. Because when you talked about the fiber, which is very essential for those 38 trillion
Correct.
bacteria, you need 30 different kind of food to feed those fibers. So
Yes.
this puzzle is a great example of it.
We have done this, and we have these boxes too.
Yes.
Then we
And by the
actually,
way, Dr. Rao has supplied this literally at his cost. This is a
yes, of
great
course.
gift item. I think instead of giving sweets and candies and chocolates to the kids, we should give these puzzles to the kids.
Then India International Science Festival people asked me to give a lecture on the nutrition for students in India via Zoom. And their intent is not just giving nutrition information to the students, but also to get a Guinness Book of World Record for maximum number of students listening to nutrition lectures. So they organized the lecture system, and but the Guinness Book of World Record said that unless the number of people who join crosses 2,500, we cannot consider this for the record's sake. Then they suddenly came back and asked me, how do we do that? Because, the people may join, people may go off. Then I said, okay, let's play a game. We played this Ahar game, which is exactly like Food Party, Jeopardy game. We called it a Food Party or Ahar game. And after 2,500 crossed, then we started our presentation. And that's how Government of India at that time got the Guinness Book of World Record. And the whole thing has a new level when I invited Dr. Mitch Elkind to give one of the presentations in my weekly presentations. American Heart, he was running American Heart Association as a president at that time. He's a neurologist in Columbia, from Columbia University, but he's interested in this subject. So at that time, he gave a full presentation of what the plans of the American Heart to make food as medicine. In their terminology, food is medicine, and that's where they are working together towards that, and they are really moving well. By 2032 or even before, food will be prescribed in clinics like this.
Wow, this is incredible. Incredible.
That is, I said that 2030, 32, or it's happening here and there. But what is happening right now about food as medicine or food is medicine? Government of the United States in recent times, 2026, declared that forget about all the ingredients, carbohydrates, fats, and all those things. Just eat food. And to encourage that, they have given 500 million grant, 13 million grant with 500,000 for each applicant to give food prescription to pregnant mothers so that they can measure, monitor, and make it a part of the healthy plans. This is going to happen right now. This is happening right now. The grants are awarded in the last 1 week or 2 weeks back, which I checked the last time, and they will be done in the next 1 year.
Right. And Dr. Rao, when the Silento diet shows that in 7 days you can change the biomarkers, you have 9 months or maybe 6 months to make effect on the on babies. I mean, this is incredible. Because
Correct.
I tell you, the health starts in the womb. I mean, if
Absolutely.
you're a strong baby, you will have a much better life as compared to somebody who's not eating correctly.
Yeah, it's already 10:44. So now I will move into answering the questions. Luckily for me, I don't have to stress too much to answer these questions. The first question, what is food as medicine and how does it actually work? And for the past several months, my team, some of them are here, Kanishka and Srimati Ghosh and many others. I cannot go on to because of the time, but otherwise we'll have a full session with all my team members another day. We have collected 108 pioneers who actually turned food into a substantially,
Uh-huh.
scientifically understood medicine for people.
Yes.
And this book is already on Amazon. In the next 1 week, probably is available for purchase directly, or I can be contacted because we are going to make it available to everybody rather than just only on Amazon. What are the action items for this presentation? Increase the variety of the three action items that I propose. Because when you spend time to come and listen to me for 1 full hour, you must take home at least three simple things that can give you some benefit. Increase the variety of plant foods. We can send all the 365 list to anyone who wants it through Rakesh ji's or Payal ji's system.
Okay, so Dr. Rao, our president Suman Munjal is also in the audience,
Oh,
and she,
nice. Thanks,
she uh,
sir. Thanks for joining.
yeah, she's organizing on December 5th our World Vegan Vision Thanksgiving lunch. I obviously invite you to come as our guest, but also we will buy 10 copies of this book, Food as Medicine, 108 Pioneers, and give it out as a referral gift to people who attend. And this is what we want to do, because I think this is so important to implement what we learn. Learning cannot be entertainment. It has to be a practical guide to enhance our life and the vitality, which is your mission. So we will be very happy to take this book and give it to people.
Sure. The second point is choose a whole or minimally processed food most often. And the third one is build everyday meal around vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fruits, nuts, and seeds. And you may be wondering why an orange is on the cover page. We debated this along, and there is a wonderful turning point in the Western science about food as medicine. James Lind, a doctor, was sent to a British doctor was sent to Canada, when British soldiers were dying in Canada. Most of you may know that scurvy disease, and James Lind's work has clearly said if you give a citrus fruit or any orange or something, they do not get sick and die. That's the reason why we placed orange in the center, though there are many, many eminent people around it. Now, the closing point I want to make is Pashyema Sharadashatam Jivema Sharadashatam Buddhyema Sharadashatam Rohema Sharadashatam Ushema Sharadashatam Avema Sharadashatam Bhuyema Sharadashatam Bhuyazi Sharadashatam.
May we see 100 autumns. May we live 100 autumns. May we be wakeful for 100 autumns. May we attain wisdom for 100 autumns. May we be well for 100 autumns. May we adorn 100 autumns.
Yeah.
May the autumns be more than 100. May we accomplish all this.
Dr. Rao, this has been an incredible, enlightening presentation, and we are supported by an organization called Plant Powered Metro New York, and I would like Enrica Saka, one of the founders, to unmute herself and turn on the video, and they have a fantastic program called Jumpstart. So Enrica, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, Rakesh. And Dr. Rao, that was excellent. I listened to so many presentations and that was really good. What's amazing in the plant-powered world is we never stop learning. We always learn, grow. And at Plant Powered Metro New York, we're a community-based organization. Our mission is to educate in the evidence behind plant nutrition. And one of the things that we do, not only in New York, but across the country, is our 21-day Jumpstart. And it's educational, it's virtual, it's online. And as of the fall, it's now free for anyone to jump in. And we have amazing results for people who are totally compliant with their education and food. We see amazing results. So we're growing really fast. And I'm also quite proud to say that this is the same program that the hospital system, the biggest hospital system in this country, is following our program. We did the same Jumpstart with clinicians and the administrators there. So if anybody wants to learn and get supported by a fantastic organization, please jump in and join us in the fall.
Yeah, well, thank you, Enrica.
Sure.
And I would like to ask you to please share that link with us for fall. And when Payal sends us the recap of this talk, we will include that as a link for everybody. And thank you so much for what you have done. Incredible journey that you have had in 7 years. We are very proud to be associated with you. Now, Dr. Rao, is it okay to open for some live Q&A from people?
Before that, I have to address
yes. Go ahead.
concerns at a point that made by her, Plant Power Metro. There is one very interesting thing that is happening in United States. There is a doctor, Dr. John Princip. I hope he is here. If he is here, please unmute your audio and video. He has been teaching this in his clinic before, whatever we said. Hello, Dr.
Hey,
Prince.
Hi, John. How are you?
He has been teaching this before in his clinic. Now he's actually taking it to schools. And he is one of the pioneers in our book.
Oh, wow. Such an honor to meet you, Dr. John.
an honor to be part of this group. Dr. Rao is quite a influencer and a mover of ideas, which absolutely fascinates me and engages me. And I'm always happy to be part of something that not only improves the health of the individual, but populations and at large the planet. And this is actually the best way I think that we can educate kids growing up. Because as Dr. Rao said, I did this for 40 and 50-year-olds, and it has some impact, but it will have much more impact if we do this at a younger age. And I'm reaching out to high school students where I'm presently, but as you said, Rakesh, playing the puzzle game with your grandkids and whatnot, it gets them understanding food. I mean, there were studies previously where people would put vegetables in front of kids and they wouldn't even know what they were. So awareness is everything. So I'll zip it because I could talk forever.
No. See, John, you made an excellent point, and believe me, we would like to have you, maybe Dr. Rao, if he has time, but we should get together and do a session, a strategy session between PPMNY, because they are very creative in what they have done with the hospitals and schools and group of doctors. I think we could find some valuable way for taking your and Dr. Rao's teaching to these multiple places. That's the whole idea.
And before you open the questions, I should thank all my students. They are not exactly my students, but the team members who have helped me to put this book together and sharpen my ideas, thinking constantly without any hesitation, because they don't get any marks or pass or fail from me.
So
Thank you, everybody, to all who have joined.
thank you, Dr. Rao. It was incredible. So, Theo,
Thank you, Rakesh ji and Dr. Rao and Mr. John. This is Suman Munjal. And me and Rakesh ji, we all invite you for our December 5th World Vegan Vision program. And another thing is we should buy not just one or two copies. We should buy maybe like 5, 10. Maybe some of the people over there might want to buy this book.
no, we are buying 10 copies already, but
Okay.
we will also encourage Dr. Rao to leave some books there for sale. I think it's a good
Right.
idea for people to buy.
Yes.
So in Q&A, if you put your name, I can invite you by name, but Theom Life, if you could unmute, please.
Or shall I run the list of? I have 13 questions.
Yeah. You can do that too, because if people don't unmute and they raise their hand, unfortunately, we cannot hear them and answer their questions. So please go ahead, Dr. Rao.
Yeah, the first one was addressed quite well. How does it work? 38 people asked that and done. The book is the answer. Please go through the book. The second one is disease and condition, specific food guidance. Yes, there are very clear guidances can be given, but this kind of forum cannot make it specific. But one suggestion that I would make is use continuous glucose monitoring. Whether you are diabetic or not, it doesn't matter. If you have a health condition, or if you are afraid of a health condition, or not a health condition, but just a weight, or just want to improve your health without any, even if you are very healthy, please use it. I have used it, and I understood what foods are doing to my body and my metabolism, and it's really rewarding. The next question is preventive health. Using food to prevent disease before it starts. Yes, that's a very wide range one. That's a full series that preventive health, and I want a panel of doctors from endocrinologist to internal medicine and Dr. Princip, John Princip and others as a team if you can organize, we surely can provide that. They will fill in the health part, and I'll fill in the science part. Then the next one is vegetarian, vegan, plant based nutrition, especially protein. Yes, we discussed that briefly in there. It is possible to have very good health without any doubt at all with vegetarian or vegan. Here, if I'm permitted, I have a very strong personal point to make here. When I went to Paris to do PhD, my supervisor, Dr. Dominic Labie, a doctor, a scientist of good international reputation, one day called me and said that unless you eat beef, don't come to lab from tomorrow. That's the reason why the whole debate and discussion started. And I said that I cannot jump in one day. I may adapt because I did not make any distinction of eat or not to eat based on any religious practice. She said, no, on the day when you want to sit and eat with me, then only come to lab. I did not go to lab for several days, 2 weeks or more. Then my American collaborator called and said that both of you are absolute. He used very, very bad English at that time. And I told him, Dr. Nagel, he's a very well known hematologist. Dr. Nagel, I'm so happy that my English is not that good. I come from India. I never lived in Western world. And I right now living in Paris, so I don't understand, but I understand your anger. Tell me what is the solution. I cannot eat, and she doesn't want me to come to lab. Then he said, come to America. That's how I came to America in 1986. That's my big beef story. So when you are on a special situation of any food, not just vegetarian, vegan, you must plan well. That's the answer, in short answer. Then practical, everyday application or clinical practices. I answered earlier in a different way, but yes, American Heart is going to give all the details. We can ask Dr. Mitch Elkin or Walp, Dr. Walp, who is now heading this, to come and talk to us. And the plant-powered metro, you can make it possible. I can invite on a personal level, but that is not appropriate for a big audience. Then the next one is food, drug, nutrient interactions. Yes, I showed a slide. All these details are available on internet, but unnecessarily people are taking it in whatever way they want. But they must remember stage of the life, age, condition, they all are important. The next one is asked personalized nutrition and nutrigenomics. Oh yes, you these days you read more about it, but my simple submission is if you have a simple glucose monitoring, you yourself will know a lot what to eat, what not to eat, rather than going to get your DNA analyzed and other specialists come in. After that, certainly go for such a plan. History and Pioneers of Food as Medicine. That's the book that we put out, and please go through it. And any more questions because it's already 59.
Oh, Dr. Rao, you're so punctual. Amazing. Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of raises hand, but when I try to unmute or ask them to start video, somehow it's not happening. But I'll see if you can help. Maybe something I'm not doing right. But officially, Dr. Rao, is it okay to conclude our session now? And anybody who wants to stay, would you mind staying another extra 10 or 15 minutes? Maybe
Yes, I
somebody.
can stay. For me, it is only 11 o'clock here. So,
Yes. So, and John, if you have any comment or two that you may want to tell a little bit about yourself, what you do, or because we don't know, so we would be an honor to
yeah,
learn.
sorry, we didn't have enough time to introduce
Yeah,
him
that's okay. That's
properly.
okay. We have time now. We have time. I mean, we still have many people on the call. So, John, maybe you can say a couple of words about yourself and.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I am a semi-retired physician who practiced internal medicine for 36 years, and probably around the mid portion of my medical career, I was just totally dismayed that I wasn't really able to help anybody. People came in with the same diseases,
Mhm.
chronically getting worse despite my best efforts and care. And I'm like, I don't want to continue doing this. It's just too emotionally draining. And I said, what can I do that I really like and brings joy and happiness and can keep people healthy. And I just reflected upon my mom, God rest her soul, but she was a wonderful mom and never gave us any processed foods growing up. Everything was made from scratch. And I'm like, I really like cooking. I think I want to go and be a chef. So, so I kept looking around and I kept taking more and more culinary classes and actually kind of became a self-taught chef. But the pivotal moment for me was when I went to Dr. David Eisenberg's Healthy Kitchen, Healthy Lives program at the Culinary Institute. And I came away with that and I'm like, no, I don't need to leave medicine. I just need to start doing things in a different way to people, to teach people to eat better, to move more, and to stress less. And that was completely changed. I mortgaged my home to build my first teaching kitchen in the office complex that I was, doing my medical practice. So largely by day, I took care of patients, and nights, evenings, weekends, I put on classes. I designed it's called a six-week roadmap to wellness, in which we taught people those basic skills, and it was extremely well received. And then someone caught wind of it and got a hold of me and said, "How would you like to do a TED talk on this?"
Wow.
And I did a TEDx talk in 2012 called "A Recipe for a Healthy America," and it's surprising the message that I had in that TED talk is still as valuable today as it was in 2012.
Right.
So fast forward, many things happened in my life. I lost both of my parents. This person who was promoting health got advanced prostate cancer in 2016, and all this dream stuff came to a crashing halt because I didn't have the energy to do all this. So I had to deconstruct the kitchen, sell all my equipment, and downsize my practice to a manageable scale that I could continue practicing medicine. Fast forward over many years, I never got rid of that dream and never got rid of that equipment and all the things that I had collected. And in 2023, I was playing basketball with my niece and broke my left wrist. And it was like a sign, like I couldn't really practice medicine effectively with one hand. And so therefore I retired and I went back to the high school where I graduated from. And I said, your kids really need to understand wellness. I said, how would you like if I put a nutrition program in here? And then I think we should build a teaching kitchen as well. And that's kind of where the story is right now. I'll be going back this fall. Our teaching kitchen is completed. And I know Dr. Rao wants to come out and visit, see what we've built. And so sorry to
So where is this kitchen? Where is this kitchen, John?
Where is it?
Uh-huh.
It's in Illinois. It's a suburb of Illinois, Burbank, Illinois. It's called St. Lawrence High School, and it's like a full circle, a dream come true again. That I never lost the passion for what I wanted to do, and just reformatted it to a different format now.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Really honored. And Dr. Rao, when you go there, let me know. Maybe we can go together.
Sure, I'll keep you informed.
Kanishka Upadhyay is here. The lady who co-authored the book.
Yes, Kanishka is here. Srimita is here, I think. And
Dr.
I can't see all of them, but
I don't see him.
Aishwarya is here.
Right. Okay. Anyone has questions from the audience before we close? And I really appreciate everyone taking the time to join us. And I want to thank Payal and Enrica to be part of this. We had a excellent gentleman who write plant-powered rhymes, Mr. Ron Rizzo, but he somehow didn't show up. I even called him this morning to sing a little musical thing for us, but somehow something happened to him maybe. But next time. If nobody has question, I would like to take Dr. Rao's permission to close this session. and thank him so much for doing this. Wonderful. All right, everybody have a blessed weekend, and thank you so much for participating. A recording will be shared. We have another event coming up next month. Payal will share all the details. We are lining up events for October and November as well. Enrica, anything that you would like to share?
Well, we have a lot of events virtually and a lot going on in the New York City area.
Yes.
And jump in and join us.
No, we'll share a link about PPMNY as well in those talks. There are two. Okay, I just have thank you, but no questions. All right, people should not be afraid to ask questions. Maybe next time we could do is that we could send you a gift if you ask questions. That might be better. Okay. All right. Sally, God bless everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. And John, so nice to meet you. Okay. Take care. Bye.